What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Jackal Gold Games, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review for the video game God of War 2018. So I am familiar with the God of War series. I did play some of the old ones growing up, and I remember being into the games and into the series. Now, back when I tried this game, I didn't play it long enough to see what I thought of it. It was on PS4. But this is a game that, much like Resident Evil 4, did change the series into a different direction, which I have no issue with because, I mean, sometimes it doesn't work, but the thing is, some series have to do this or they will die off, you know, because people get tired of it or it'll just be the same thing. And, you know, I recently played this on PS5 Pro, and, you know, this game gets a lot of praise, and a lot of people really like it, and it's held in high regards, and I gotta say, I agree with it. I really enjoyed this game. I thought this game was amazing. This is honestly one of the best games I've played from modern generation. Like, when we talk about modern gaming, people have issues with it. When we talk about like modern video games, like what's some of the best stuff, this is one of the best games I've played of the modern generation. I really enjoyed this game because this game was fun. When I was playing it, I was hooked, I was addicted, I wanted to keep playing it. And, you know, I'm glad I really enjoyed the game. It was phenomenal. The game looks great, runs great, especially on PS5 Pro backwards compatibility. And the game was just so much fun to play. It really was. And I can't wait to play the sequel, Ragnarok. Now, I don't have a physical copy of the game. I never bought it physically or Ragnarok, but both of these games are on my cousin's account, so that's how I played it. So I'll try to have a picture of the game somewhere if I can. But I really enjoyed this game. Let's talk about the game itself. So the story of God of War 2018 is Kratos is a lot older. Now he has a son. His wife and his son's mother died, so they're going on this journey, the highest peak, to put their ashes, or to, you know, spread her ashes across the highest peak. And through this story, you'll encounter characters, 2 blacksmith dwarves, you'll have side quests, you'll have a few worlds to explore in Midgard. There's things where you're on a boat, which is pretty cool. You have realms you travel to, like Helheim, which is kind of like their version of hell, because this is based in Norse mythology. You have the Giants realm, which you only go to once at the end of the game. You have the one Muspelheim, which is like a fire type realm. You have Niflheim, which is like a realm with like fog. And then you have one called Alfenheim, which deals like elves. That was one of the best areas, I thought. Really cool area. And, you know, just a really cool story. I was interested following the story. I wanted to see what was going to happen next. It was really cool. I think the voice acting in this game is really good, especially with like Kratos and Atreus. Their voice actors was really good. They did a really good job in the game. Everyone else did a great job with voice actors as well. I thought the chemistry with Kratos and Atreus was pretty cool. I like seeing them together go on this journey and stuff. It really felt like a father and son type thing. It was pretty cool. There were times where Atreus was annoying, and there was a part where he was like, you know, really unlikable, but he does eventually get back to being good because he finds out certain stuff. Like, he eventually finds out, this review will contain spoilers, I'll put it in the title, but he does eventually find out in the story that he's like half god, half giant. But when he finds out he's half god, he gets arrogant and sort of affects his personality. But he gets chin checked, or, you know, he gets a wake-up call basically when they encounter Baldur again, and he realizes he messed up. Kratos gives him a, you know, pep talk. But I really enjoyed the story of this game, you know, going through, exploring the worlds, you know, doing the side missions, meeting all the characters, and just really awesome. You know, really awesome. Gameplay wise, I really did enjoy this game. The gameplay was really fun. It's over the shoulder. You have combos, you have your Leviathan axe, which is a frost axe. It's the main weapon you use for a while. Fun to use. It's got some abilities that are really cool. One of them slamming the axe in the ground. They're called like runics. One of them is the frost beam, which was really helpful. That's one of the best ones in the game. And you also have combat where you're using your hands. You have combat where you're using your shield. And you can equip like armor and different types of armor doing different types of things. You can equip enhancements on these armors that increase stats you can get from the shops, either dwarf that's selling it. There's also hack silver you collect as your like currency to buy stuff. You can get like resurrection stones, and you level up. You can upgrade a skill tree. Atreus has a skill tree that you can upgrade as well. He has his own armor sets that do various different things. You also eventually do get I think they're called the Chains of Chaos, the weapons Kratos had in God of War 1, which is really cool to get those in the game. It does take a little too long to get them, in my opinion, but they're still really cool, and I thought they were awesome weapons. Very iconic weapons from his old game, because he has to get it to fight the enemies of Helheim, because there's a part where Atreus gets sick, so he has to get his weapons. It's from his past that he was hitting up or hiding, because in the game he hides a lot of his past from Atreus and doesn't want to know about a lot of that stuff. And then eventually nearing in the game, then he eventually knows about the stuff, so that was interesting. And the Chains of Chaos are great, fun to use in this game. They have their own runic attacks, which is great, and they're just really good gameplay wise. I kind of like this feature where if you have frost enemies, well, you can use the axe on some of them. The Chains of Chaos are better. And then with flame enemies, it seems like the axe is better. So, good variety there. Atreus is pretty good gameplay wise. He has summons he can use, calling out certain animals to help you attack. He's got light arrows, electricity arrows, so that's pretty good. He's definitely useful in combat. I thought it was really fun, like exploring the worlds and getting everything done, and you got everything. Like, what I like about this game is they track all the collectibles and stuff, which is nice. It makes it easy to get everything done. And one of the things I really like about this game is this is one of the few games I played where you can platinum it in one playthrough. I wish every game was like that. It's like, man, I was able to get the platinum trophy in one playthrough. That's amazing. I wish every game did that. But I enjoyed exploring the worlds, doing the side quests, meeting a lot of the characters. A lot of the dialogue from Kratos and Atreus was really good. Mimir is a character you eventually meet in the story. He's like a talking head. He goes with you. At first, I was a little worried about him being a part of the game for a while, because I don't know. I didn't know how it was going to work. If he was going to be annoying, but he was a pretty good character, so I could deal with him being around. So thankfully, he wasn't an annoying character, so that didn't bother me. But I enjoyed exploring the worlds, doing the quest, and getting collectibles, and fighting enemies, and just the whole vibe of it, like, action RPG, I think is what the genre is. Just the whole vibe of it, going off the beaten path, and seeing everything the game has to offer. I just like the whole gameplay loop of the game, the hack and slash type gameplay with your weapons, the skill tree, the armor stuff, exploring and doing side quests and getting loot and all that stuff. Just a really fun gameplay loop and experience that I really enjoyed. These are the kind of RPGs I would say I really like. So yeah, the gameplay was solid. I played it on Give Me a Challenge, and it was tough. Like, one of the standout bosses in this game was the Valkyrie Queen. I beat all the Valkyries, and the Valkyrie Queen was very tough. I had to look up a video how to do it. Took me a lot of tries. I would say definitely the toughest boss in the game. Bosses are pretty good in this game. I do feel like some of them are used too much. Like, every ancient you fight looks the same. And like I think it's the troll with the big tree thing. Everyone you find looks the exact same. They just have a different element. I think they could have made some of them look a little different. I get they're all trolls, but I think they could have made some of them look a little different. But yeah, really, really fun game, gameplay wise. The Visuals and graphics are great. It looks great, runs great, looks great. Like I said, just great graphic style, and yeah, no complaints there. Sound effects are pretty good as well. The music is there. I can it's alright music, I'd say. But yeah, visually the game looks great. Graphics are good. Characters look pretty good, and just has a good art style to it. That's for sure. I'm trying to think about if there's any like negatives I have with the game, which I don't think there really is any, to be honest. I mean, it is a little weird you can't jump in combat, because something that would have been helpful is that when you're fighting those nightmares and they're floating in the sky, I wish you could jump up and slash them. I think that would be cool. It would be very useful. But Atreus is kind of meant for those enemies more, and you throw your axe at them. Axe throwing, you can throw your axe and it comes back to you. There's also puzzles to do. You can get upgrades for your health. There's also Spartan Rage, where you are where you're invincible and you can do a lot of damage. You could stomp. You could do like a beam thing where you stomp down and it sends a shockwave. You also have one where you can pick up a giant rock and throw it. There's also Talisman, which is cool. There's different abilities. One where you can heal yourself. One with Rage Burst. One of my favorites I found near the end of the game was slowing down time. That was very useful, where you can slow down enemies and you can do a lot of damage to them. So a lot of cool talisman. There's also pommels for weapons, axe pommels, which have different abilities and stats. Blade pommels, which have different abilities and stats as well. And yeah, just some extra stuff I wanted to mention. There's also lore markers and lore things you find, and there's certain things like kill this certain amount of enemies, or get kill certain enemies doing this skill. And a lot of this is tracked in kind of your journal and where everything is in the menu, which is pretty cool. And yeah, this is just a really good game, man. This is one of the best games I played of the modern era. And I don't know, like it's tough because I don't know if I could put it in my top 10, because then I'd have to replace a game with it, because there's a lot of really good games out there. But I could put it in a top 15 maybe, I don't know. But it is a really good game. I see why I got the praise it did. It's awesome. It's amazing. I really missed out on this game back when it came out. Amazing game. I enjoyed my whole way through. It does what you want from a video game. It's addicting and it hooks you. That's what I look for in a video game. And I just enjoyed everything this game had to offer. I mean, this was really well done. This is just, a phenomenal game that they made, and a hell of an exclusive when it did release on the PS4. And yeah, I enjoy my time with it. I don't think there's anything else I can really think of saying for now. A few more things I wanted to mention for this review that I forgot to talk about. I thought the enemies in the game were pretty cool. Good enemy variety. There's different versions of the enemies of the same enemy. Like, you have taser worms, which are like, their face looks like a lion or some kind of like animal, but they're like kind of a worm. They go through the ground. You have werewolves, which are called wolvers. Those are my favorite enemies because they're basically werewolves. You have different versions of them. You have your tree-looking type enemies. You have your frost-type enemies. You have your witches, which are like called revenants. There's some different versions of these enemies with different things they do. So certain enemies have different strategies and things you gotta like block or dodge from. There's blocking and dodging in the game. And you also have the nightmare enemies, which are flying type enemies. They have different abilities. I thought the enemies in the game, as well as the mini bosses, were pretty cool, good variety. And I also thought the main character you play as Kratos was really good. Cool version of Kratos, and just a cool character to follow. Definitely, it's fun to play a game where you're playing as just a complete, cool, tough character, basically. So just some extra stuff I wanted to mention in this review. I will mention one more thing, there are executions in the game where you'll kill certain enemies with a finisher if their stun meter's up, which is pretty cool. It basically lets you do executioner and finishers, which is nice. Some of them are cool. Like I like the one where you bring the dark elf down and you kind of, it sounds like a crunch where you put the spear on his back or something. And I thought a lot of the characters you meet were cool. You know, there's a witch you meet named Freya, and, you know, dwarves, and Baldur's the villain, who's alright villain. And, yeah, that's really it. That's all I can think of. That's all I really got to say about God of War 2018, in my opinion on it. If you played this game, let me know what you think of it and how you felt about it. I'm looking forward to now playing Ragnarok. I look forward to playing it. Can't wait to jump to the sequel now. I'm honestly glad I didn't play these on PS4 so I can experience them at their fullest potential on the PS5 Pro. So, yeah, awesome game. That's all I got to say in my review of this game. Peace out.